When you were doing Goodfellas, and you obviously got to go, you spent a lot of time with Henry Hill. You did not?
Not at all.
They
didn't want me to meet him.
Why was that? Because
I think just because he was afraid the stories were, once they locked in, it was from the book called Wise Guy that Nick Pileggi wrote. What I did do was I listened to Henry's tapes. They had cassette tapes of when they were doing the interview. Henry was talking and Nick was asking them questions as he was getting to write the book of what about happened. And I remember listening to the tapes for hours and hours on end. There were tons of them. And all I remember is Henry Hill was eating potato chips the whole time. And I don't know if you've ever listened to anybody eat potato chips on a tape. It's just a horrible noise.
Right.
But I listened to that, but I didn't meet him till after it.
What'd you think of him afterwards?
He said, I think he said, "Thanks for not making me a scumbag." I said, "Did you really see the movie?
Yeah.
You ratted on your friends. You're a drug addict,
You didn't see like 45 minutes of just coked out frenzy? Like, but that does tell you something about Henry Hill, that he saw Goodfellas and he was like, he really made me look good in this movie.
Exactly.
Because I was wondering if, like, when you're talking to somebody like that, and obviously you didn't before the movie, and that was probably a good thing, because if you start realizing, and not that he was, I've never talked to the guy, but if you figure out that he's full of shit, does that kind of...
Well, that's what they were afraid of.
Yeah.
His story would tell if he, was still doing the bad things that he used to do. Would the story change from one day to the next? So once they got the script down, we rehearsed for 2 weeks, getting back to working at like with Bob and Joe, right?
Yeah.
We had 2 weeks worth of rehearsal, so you get to see just them working out. You don't see we see the finished product, but everybody goes through it. Some people have their good ideas, some are bad ideas, but they're human beings who just so happen to be actors, and you start seeing the process.
Way better off.
I would think so.
Usually. So how were Pesci and De Niro on The Goodfellas? Did you three get along? Or did you not hang out that much?
No, more with Joe, because we stayed at the same hotel and we were more of friends in the movie. Tommy and Henry were somewhat more friendly than I was with Jimmy Conway, De Niro's character.
And you know that people just want to believe that bar scene, funny how funny like a clown, that type of laughing and hanging out was exactly what was real life too.
I'm sure it was a lot part. Actually, that happened to Joe. We were rehearsing it, and Joe was telling a story how that happened to him. He was in a restaurant in New York, and there were certain types there, and Joe said to the guy, "You're a funny guy," and the guy just turned on him and started playing with him. So,
and then Scorsese heard that and said,
he
"Do
says,
it."
Oh my God, yeah. So what we did is we improv that, and then once we were improving it, then we put it, into stone. So the improv then became one of the scenes.
Yeah, that's gotta be terrifying. The fact that actually happened.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally.
Oh my God. But you and Pesci got along pretty well.
Yeah. He's a great guy.